Hello, hello. Oh, we are back. I'm Marcy Billen, and I'm a resident here in Norman, Oklahoma. And this is my weekly show, and I'm your guide for all things Oklahoma real estate and Oklahoma real estate adjacent. So before we get started, be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. It's free. You can follow me on YouTube and see all the videos as they come up. So I do long form videos and I do these live streams. And then sometimes I have some other stuff in between. Oh, goodness. So you can also sign up for our newsletters. You're going to find that in the description. If you're watching on Facebook or anywhere else, just drop that in the comments for me and I can give you the link to sign up. So as you may have guessed, I am a real estate agent here in Oklahoma City. Really in Norman. I live in Norman. I have to move this. My nose is itching today. I don't really have I drank all of this earlier. This is my Topo Chico. And yes, I use a giant straw because I need that. Otherwise, I won't drink it because I guess picking up the bottle is too much. But that is what I had to drink earlier. So I'm not really drinking anything today. So I have 10 really cool houses to show you. I wanted to give you a good variety of homes with acreage here in Oklahoma. So these are homes with land. Some of them are brand new, some of them are not brand new, some have an HOA, some don't. Some have a pond, I think. Some don't. Some have a shop. So we're going to go through some of those, but I have two things I wanted to cover first. The first one, let me get my banner up here for you. Tornado information. I found this today in the paper. I haven't been reading the paper as religiously as I typically do. So this was super interesting to me. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can also see. Window share. Cool. Make it like this. News layout. We're doing the news. So this is an article about how the state of Oklahoma is offering Oklahoma homeowners a grant to strengthen roofs through tornadoes or high winds because we get a lot of straight line winds. It's not just tornadoes. So this picture that they have on here is actually they tested the typical construction standards versus this fortified version that they're trying to do. So the typical construction standard kind of wilted there in their straight line winds. And then they have this fortified version. So what they're doing for this fortified version is, let me just check something really quick, you guys. Got it. What they're doing in the fortified version is they're using these different screws. This is one of the things. So this is a type of nail, I guess, and it's called a ring shank nail. And it's different than the smooth ones because it won't allow the wind to lift up the decking on your roof as much during those straight line winds or tornadoes. So that's what's going on there. So I thought that was super interesting. What they're doing essentially is they are certifying certain roofers to retrograde houses with these nails. And then it sounds like also with some other stuff, though it wasn't super clear what that is because they're in the early stages of doing this. Of course, there are different shingles that you can get for your roof as well. And some of you may already know about that. And there's some insurance savings that go along with that. So basically, it's a grant to help homeowners in Oklahoma retrofit their houses to withstand the straight line winds that we get here in Oklahoma. So it's kind of exciting. I'm excited to see what happens next with this. Because ultimately it sounds like they have to certify a bunch of roofers to do this fortified. They put fortified in all capital letters into the standard here so that they can retrofit these houses. A lot of new build houses have things like this, but some of the older ones do not because of new technologies and things. So I wanted to let you know that because I thought it was really fascinating. Cool. If you have questions, you just let me know. And I'm just going to put that up here. If you do have questions, you can drop them in the comments and I will answer the questions for you as I'm talking here. So please don't be shy. I don't want to feel like I am talking to myself. Also, if you don't have any questions, you just want to drop where you're from, then you can do that as well. So the next thing I want to go over just real quick. If you guys have been watching the news, you know that there's this NAR settlement going on, right? This is a big talk amongst realtors. So I'm a realtor. Did you know there's a difference between a real estate agent and a realtor? I'm not going to bore you with those details. Realtor is associated with NAR, which is National Association of Realtors. So this year, it was started last year, I believe. There was a class action suit against NAR and some of the larger brokerages like mine, which is Keller Williams. It's an international brokerage. And this they had to settle, and NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, has to pay $418 million in damages, technically to homeowners, though I think the attorneys get 48% of that. So I brought up this article because I started reading it. This is in the Journal Record, which I love. This is like one of my favorite newspapers, but this article was not good. So I just wanted to point out some fallacies, maybe stuff that you're hearing on the news, because I've heard people say stuff like this. I don't really watch that very much, but I just wanted to address a couple of these things. So they're talking about who's the winner in this case and who are the losers. So they're saying that the winners are home sellers. So it says that the monumental ruling gives buyers the upper hand. Previously, sellers paid 3% of the final sales price to the buyer's agent and an additional 3% to their own agent, which is not really true because ultimately the listing agent, so the person listing a house to sell it, negotiated a commission. It could have been 6%, it could have been 4%, it could have been 2%. And the listing agent technically, right now, still, this is happening, decides what to pay the buyer's agent if a buyer's agent brings a buyer to buy the house. So, yeah, I don't like that they didn't explain that properly because that's how it works. Um, and this person says, I expect sellers will try harder to negotiate lower commissions from listing agents. This has always happened. I have been asked many, many times over my 8-year career to lower my commission as I am helping someone to sell a house. This is really common. And if you want me to do less work, I can do that. I do have an amount that I charge, and I think all of us do as we are working in just this economy, right? Yeah. Okay. So it says the winner is discount brokers. Discount brokers fare better following the settlement. So if you don't know, a discount broker is someone who just takes a set fee and puts a house on the MLS. Um, in our world, I'm a full service agent. I can't do discount brokering situations because of my E&O insurance, which is errors and omissions insurance, which is a type of business insurance that we have. But discount brokers just put the house on the MLS and kind of let a seller deal with contracts. But the thing is, sellers don't know how to deal with contracts. So sometimes this is a problem. So this says that many house hunters, especially first-time buyers, find it challenging to pay a 3% commission fee alongside substantial down payments and other closing costs. So one thing they said in this, and this is up here, that I was just like, this was super interesting. So this says going forward, sellers will pay only their listing agent, while buyers will pay their agent out of their pocket. That's just wrong information. It's 100% wrong information because the sellers still have the opportunity to offer the buyer's agent a commission, whether it be a percentage or a set amount. it just can't be advertised on the MLS. So I don't know where they got this information or who wrote this, but it is incorrect. So please know that. And I've heard this in other places too, and it's not a correct situation. Okay. This says, let's see, I want to go down to it says a loser is a home buyer. So it says buyers are already struggling to juggle the exorbitant interest rates. Interest rates are not necessarily exorbitant at this point. They are in a very normal spot at that. Today I saw one for 6.625% for an FHA loan. Check with a lender if you want to see what the rates are for you today, because it changes based on the type of loan you get, etc. So the rates aren't necessarily high. Home prices are higher than they were, but that is how the economy works. Like prices tend to go up. Here in Oklahoma, prices go up. Going down isn't really a thing as much. Our prices have definitely leveled off. So during 2021 and 2022, year over year, our average appreciation rate here in Oklahoma was 12%. And now we're looking at like 0.5 or 1% increase in prices. So it's just a leveling off, and prices are actually where they should be at this time. It's just that we had kind of a rocky start getting there because of that little thing called the pandemic. So, yeah. Okay, so this says that home buyers will pay a 1 to 3% commission fee on top of their other expenses. This is can be true. But we have to think about this. Were buyers already paying commissions? Yes, because it was in the price of the house. So they were paying it over the length of the loan, essentially. And that's still going to happen. If it is my belief and the belief of several other people that I work with that if, sellers want to sell their houses, sorry, my cat is in here like digging. If sellers want to sell their houses, they're going to have to offer something. We see it as a kind of a marketing fee, but also it takes about 40 hours. My cat, my gosh, you guys. Are you done? Jeez. So we see it as a kind of a marketing fee, a fee that you have to have someone running that side of the transaction. And usually buyers don't want to work with the listing agent because the listing agent was hired by the seller. The listing agent is the person helping the seller get the best deal. The buyer's agent needs someone getting their best deal. And I work with mostly buyers in my business. And that's the fun part. Like, I want to help you get the best possible situation out of purchasing a house. And purchasing a house is how you build wealth. So, we're going to come back to this over and over and over again. And over the next year, this is going to change dramatically, I think. So stay tuned on that. All right. That was fun. The NAR settlement is so exhausting to even think about, to be honest with you. Ooh, I have to move my feet. My legs were falling asleep. So I have this. You guys watch my YouTube channel. If you're here watching, you've probably seen me before. I talk a lot about purchasing homes with Acreage. So what I wanted to do was take you through some homes just on the internets and tell you what I see people wanting in a home, tell you the cool things I see about these different acreages and like why people are opting to purchase in those areas or wanting this much land in my experience. Oh my gosh. Oh man. So this first one that I have here, I have 10. And I'm going to start at the bottom, meaning the least expensive. That not meaning that it's, yeah, the least expensive. My most expensive ones go up over $1 million that we're going to talk about. And they're really cool. So let's take a look here. So this house, I have this up on realtor.com. And this house is in Blanchard, Oklahoma. So we can see it. I'm just going to show you. Blanchard is a town that is southwest of Norman. And this one actually isn't in Blanchard. Where is my zooming situation? Okay, it doesn't have one. Doop, doop, doop. Oh, it's being very slow. Blanchard is southwest of Norman. And this one's actually not in Blanchard. It's going to be in this little area called Middleburg. So it's technically in Middleburg schools. Middleburg schools are also K through 8, meaning that the kids only go through 8th grade because they don't have a high school. So I actually went to a school like that back in Claremore when I was growing up. So yeah, it was a really interesting experience because they tend to be small schools. They're called country schools. So this house is brand new. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath, and it is just under 1,700 square feet. It's on an acre, and it is $283,000. So here's some of the stuff I'm seeing with these new builds. So this one has just a little bit of brick. This is really common right now. We're fully bricked homes, like we still see them, of course, but this does, of course, save with costs for the builder. Brick is not the way the house is technically built. It's more like a fascia. It's for decoration, but it also keeps the water off of the wood, which is what the house is built with. We have stick built houses here in Oklahoma. This one also has a fence in the backyard, and that is a chain link fence, and it's black. We see this a lot in the country because you want to see the countryside that you are living in. This one also has a 2-car garage. And then, so this one's been lived in a little bit. It's not brand new, but it's pretty new. So we have tile, which is really common in these houses, and then this wood-like tile in the living room, also very common in these houses. Really good if you have pets. We are seeing a lot of the blue cabinets right now. So if you like the blue, please let me know because it's a really interesting trend. I prefer, someone's calling me. I prefer the darker blue, like the navy to this blue, but that's my opinion. So I want to hear what you think though. And then what we don't see in a lot of these houses is a formal dining room. We only see like the little breakfast nook like you see in these photos. Okay, these have they're not fully like vaulted ceilings, and it's that price range. You're not typically going to get fully vaulted ceilings in this price range under 300,000. And if this house was closer into the city, because it's quite a drive to Oklahoma City from here or to Norman, probably I think it's probably 40 minutes, 35 minutes to Norman from this location. Thinking about that. Yep. Then this house would be like let's see, but 1,600 square feet on an acre, probably 500,000. So you do get quite a bit more house out in the country, and it's beautiful. Like this area has got a lot of trees. It's really cool. Okay, so let me get to. So we usually see a pantry in these houses because they are fully open kitchens. And the fully open kitchen, you know, like it doesn't have as much cabinets because it's fully open. So there's not as many walls. So you can't have as many cabinets. That's how it works. A lot of these homes out here are probably fully electric. I didn't look. And the reason for that is there are no public gas lines in this area. And then you can see that this is probably quartz countertops, but it's a thinner quartz. That's also what you see with the price range as well. It's beautiful. It's still an amazing countertop. So you have those large pantries because you don't have all of that cabinet space. Oh, excuse me, my nose. And then this one doesn't have any carpet in it, so they probably paid extra for that when you're building a new one. Usually it's tile through the living areas and then carpet in the bedrooms. Let's see. It has a fully tiled shower. And then, of course, the very large walk-in closets are really common, even at 283,000. And then in the hall bath, you're going to have a tub with a shower. So that's the combo there. This one's pretty modern looking. I don't think they've lived in this house very long. Ooh. And then kind of a smaller laundry room is common at this price range, but it does fit these like really big washing machines, right? And then this is the part that people love. This is an acre lot, and you just have space for your animals, for your kiddos, for yourself to have a little bit of space away from those neighbors. So you can see here how this kind of looks. So this is the lot right here. Okay. Next one, the red dirt around it is because they're still building probably. The next one that I have for us, let me get over to my list. Oh no, where's my list, you guys? Oh, there it is. I clicked out of it. Is 865 County Street. Okay. $2,982. Okay, this one's 320,000. This one is a lot older than the other one. So this is actually on 2.63 acres. This looks like a 70s build. Yeah, 1979. That's that trained eye you're getting right there. This just had a price drop from 10,000. It's been on the market for 45 days. A price drop of 10,000 is what I meant. So let's take a look at this. There we go. Okay. Oh, I didn't see the specs. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Use the wrong arrows. We're getting there. It's going to be fine. So this is a 2,400 square foot house, and it has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. I'm not sure if it's a full 3 bathrooms. We're going to have to take a look. So one of the reasons I chose this is because it does have a outbuilding here. So we're going to take a look. Here's the front of the house. You can see that it kind of has a long driveway. We can tell this because of like where it's sitting. And it looks like pretty thick grass here. It doesn't have any landscaping around the house. So that's always, a cost that you have to factor in. And then it doesn't have a paved driveway, and it doesn't have a garage attached to the house. The garage is over here, which we see a lot in this part of Blanchard. It looks like it maybe used to have, yeah, it used to have a garage right here, and they added on like some more living space. That's what happened. So a lot of tile in here. This is where the garage used to be. Okay, so whenever I first looked at this, I thought that this was like a view of the outside because I went so fast to the photos and I had to go back and saw that it was like a mural on the wall. So this has these 1970s cabinets. Now, I know that they look older, and they are, but you have to remember that the wood that they used in the 70s was to build these cabinets was a lot different than the wood that they use now. And it's usually very sturdy, and it holds up really well. So, and I like the detail on these. If you don't, like, that's fine. I like it. But this house also still has popcorn ceilings. You can see them in this photo here. And then it seems pretty clean, to be honest. This is virtual staging, just FYI. And so that's the little breakfast nook. It probably has a formal dining room as well. Oh no, is that virtual staging? Yeah, it is. It's really hard to tell. She did such a good job on this. So here's the living room, the parquet floors, which I think are gorgeous, but if you hate them, like, just tell me. I think they're awesome. Like, they're so cool. And then the big fireplace. This is common in the 70s with the brick like fully on the wall, and then the little cabinets on the side. And that's a fake fireplace right there in the primary, it looks like. Here's the hall bath. And it does have some wallpaper, just a little border around there. Takes me back to the 90s. And then here's another hall bath. So that must have been the other bathroom, that third bathroom. So parquet in a lot of this house, and it looks like it's in decent condition. And then I'm guessing this is the primary, because a lot of times in the 70s houses, they do not have a tub in the primary suite. They only have a shower. And then that's the laundry. So I really like that they kept those original cabinets. Guys, I went to a house yesterday, day before. What's today? Tuesday? Sunday. If you're going to update your house, if you're not a professional, please get a professional to do it, right? Or like really take your time on that. Just take that to heart. So this property doesn't have a fence, but it does have a lot of trees, which are really nice. So you would have to add a fence if you needed one of those for your critters. And then, of course, it is gravel. And let me see if there's anything else. Okay. I like that one. I like those cabinets. Like there's something, they're nice. I like to see them, for what, 45 years later looking that good. That's really cool. So that one was at 320. The next one we're looking at is going to be in Norman and it's at 350,000. So Norman has some of the highest prices in the state. We're a big city, so we're the third largest city in Oklahoma, 128,000 people. So these last two houses that we looked at in Blanchard, they're actually eligible for USDA, which means that they have to be in a certain area, which Blanchard is in that area. And if you qualify for a USDA loan, then you don't have to put any money down. Is it difficult to qualify for a USDA loan? It can be. It just depends on your situation. And then you would have to pay closing costs, but a lot of times we can get sellers to pay closing costs. So sometimes I can get people into houses for literally $0 or the cost of your inspections. So if that's something that interests you, please let me know because I'm seeing USDA loans a lot right now. They're really working and people are able to get into houses. So if you need more information, just tell me. So this house we're looking at in Norman is 11917 Hilltop. So in Norman, we see a lot of homes on 10 acres. But we have a lot of homes on 1 acre. It's kind of confusing. So here's how it works. West Norman is a floodplain. All of those homes out there, if there is a home, are on 10 acres because they have to be. That's the rule. And then East Norman has a bunch of land, and a lot of that also has to be on 10 acres because it's the rule. There are like zoning requirements for that unless it was already platted before. So meaning before a certain year, and I'm not sure what that year is. An older Normanite would have to tell me that year, but there are some neighborhoods out in East Norman that are really cool, and they're like one street, and they have, like 2 acre lots or something like that. So this one's actually not in a neighborhood, but it's something that we would find in a neighborhood like that. So this one has been on the market for 100 days. That usually means it's overpriced. That's just what it is. And then it's a 4-bed, 3-bath, and it's about 2,650 square feet, and it's on that 2-acre lot. It does have a 2-car garage, and it looks like it has an outbuilding. So this one is probably not eligible for USDA because it's in Norman. And Norman is not usually falling into USDA houses. Okay. This one is a different style than we normally see as well. So no brick, more siding. And you can see that has a really big front yard and a big backyard, which a lot of people are loving right now because they kind of want that space and that like country feel. So you can see the little garage here. It's not a very big garage, that's for sure. So inside it is a 2-story house, which is something that I see that people don't really like very much. And these are laminate floors, it looks like, here in the living room, and then there's some tile. So that means that this used to be carpet. There is a fireplace there. So this is not an open floor plan because it's an older house. And then here is the kitchen. So when you don't have an open floor plan, you have a lot of cabinet space. So you kind of have to weigh like the pros and cons there and what works for you and whoever you're living with. So it does have this kind of updated sink on it. This is a Formica countertop, that's not granite. And then it has electric. It might not have gas at all. If it's out there, it might have a propane tank. I did not look, so I am unsure of that. And then, oh, this floor is like really good. Okay. So the upstairs, you can see the roof line, how it cuts into this room a little bit. It's kind of a big, like fun, like game room or like bonus room. It just doesn't have a door. And then the hall bathroom upstairs and another bedroom. Yeah. So you can see the roof line there. They've kind of redone this bedroom or this bathroom. So that's Formica countertops, laminate flooring, and then this prefab shower situation. I wanted to show me the outbuildings. So here's the outbuilding. I didn't read to see how big it was. It looks like 20 by 30, 30 by, I don't know if it's 30 by 40. I bet it's 20 by 30. And then these two little houses. So it has a big door on it there. Oh, it has a little extra spot, it looks like for storage. That's nice. And then you can see also how close the neighbor is. Yeah, on the other side. But you have quite a bit of space there. And it's on this is 24th right here, but this is like the neighborhood street. It's a loose neighborhood. There's no HOA and stuff like that. That's interesting. I kinda like that little house, like, it's cute. Nice. So that one was at 350 in Norman, which is kind of a big deal. I don't really see that very much. So next I wanted to take you to Noble. Noble is also going to be USDA eligible, and it is, pretty hopping place to live, like, people really like it. I've been bopping around Noble myself the past couple of weeks here. Uh, this one's on Etowah. If you don't know how to say the word, it's Etowah. I've heard it many ways. This one was a really interesting, like just house design. So that's why I picked this one. This one is at 375,000. It's a 5-bedroom house, so it's a very large house, really great for multi-generational living. It is USDA eligible, and it's on a 5-acre lot. So Noble can be pretty expensive, and I see a lot of like 1-acre lots in Noble. There are some half-acre, I believe, and you can still buy houses on city lots in Noble. The houses usually aren't as close together as other houses. And Noble is a town of, I think, 7,000 people is what I've looked up before. And this house is a 1977 build, and it's been on the market for almost 2 months. Okay. So this one has a lot of space on it. 5 acres. This is what I mean. This top here is kind of funky, but I thought it was cool. Looks like it needs gutters across the front, but that can be fixed. This is why I picked this. So this neighbor on one side has like 70 acres and the other neighbor has like 50 acres. It's a lot. So you have so much space to be yourself. Okay, here's the front of the house. It looks like the windows had been updated at some point, probably not in the past decade, but before that. And then they've done a little bit of work on the inside. So it looks like we have tile floors, wood like tile, but then it needs a little bit of work here at the windows. I'm not sure what's happening there, and maybe it's already fixed. I'm not sure. And then this one does have a step down living room. So it has a sunken living room, which is something that I see that people do not like very much. And maybe one of the reasons this house hasn't sold yet, because I think it's really cute. So they have green cabinets, which I like, and it's been very popular also. It looks like they sit around their bar in order to eat. So that's cute. They have this little they have their fireplace right in the middle. That's that interesting design. This is a very 70s style of house. I do like that green on the cabinets. Oh my gosh, that's so good. All right. I like the floors too. So it is still electric. They have quartz countertops. It looks like a farmhouse sink. And then a big pantry because you need all that space, and they even have some, like, counter space in their pantry. That's really nice. It looks like they probably redid that, and then it looks like the electrical panel has been updated. That's really good news, trust me. And nice. So they have long hallways are really common in this age of house. You're just gonna get them. It's how it is. And a lot of, like, linen space in the closet, also very common. So there's the primary. They have a really big king size bed in there. Really big furniture, so it's quite large. Like I said before, not common to have a, tub in the primary bathroom. This is really common to just have that shower. The tub is only gonna be in the hall bath unless you redo it. This still does have popcorn ceilings, it looks like. That's cute, cute. Uh, looks like there's not oh, yeah, there's a tub in here. You can see it right there. There is a tub in the hall bath. And then some carpet in the bedrooms, but it looks like they don't have a great transition right here. So I'm just kinda showing you, like, what I see because I look at these houses all day long. So I just notice, like, little things, right, as I go through everything. And then it's a pretty nice tree there. So they just have this storage building out back, so there's no other outbuildings. Oh, wait, what is that? There is an outbuilding. I'm just not getting any photos of it. It looks like their pool is still covered up in these photos, but it's probably open now because, like, right now is June, so that would have been April. It's about the time we open stuff. But yeah. So this one was 375,000. It's in Noble, which is just south of Norman. So depending on where it is, it's probably like a 20-minute drive into some parts of Norman. Some parts of Norman are further away because it's a really big city in terms of landmass. Nice. And that one is USDA. Is this common in Noble? Not specifically. You can find them in Noble and in Norman. Like 2 acres, no HOA, maybe a couple of outbuildings, a house that needs a little bit of work, like outside of a neighborhood, y sometimes, yes. So, you just have to be willing to kinda do some work on this type of house if that's what you want, and that's your price range. So, the next one I have is in Norman. Norman can feel like the country. Like today, I drove east from my house and I was like, well, I'm in the country really quick in this little town. So a lot of it is going to have that country feel. Yes. Okay. So this one is in West Norman, and this neighborhood is kind of hidden. I'm not sure that a lot of people actually know it's there. I've only been in a couple of these houses. They're all very different and very like uh I don't know, like artsy to me. There's a couple of neighborhoods like this in Norman. You have to remember that we are an older city for Oklahoma, but also we do have an architecture school here in Norman because of the University of Oklahoma. So this house is $500,000. They just dropped it $25,000. And I love the outside because it's so different. It's so cool. It's a 1982 build. It does have a 3-car garage and it's been on the market for 127 days. So here's why it is only $500,000, which is incredibly cheap for Norman. You can see on the front here, it needs some work. A coat of paint, some it probably like this is all wood, so it probably needs a little bit of replacement of that. So here's the neighborhood. All of these are 2-acre lots, and you can see way out into West Norman and like how there's no houses back there. So this one is on a cul-de-sac and it's yeah, it's just really I like it. I think it's a cool looking house. There's the back of it, a nice little porch, no fence, of course. A lot of these don't have fences, and some of them will have pools. And you can see how far back these houses sit from the little neighborhood road. These photos were taken early in the spring, so that's why the ground is still a little brown. So you can see the angle of that house there. Okay. This is why this house is only $500,000. None of it's been updated. It's all original, probably because the person who is selling it now or was living in it before is the original owner, which is really common in this neighborhood. So a lot of touches that are like more 70s, even though this is a 1982 build, because the 82 was like basically the 70s anyway. So the green sink, that beautiful green sink. This tile around this garden tub, super interesting, like this kind of Navajo feel, hasn't been touched. And then, yeah, that living room carpet in a $500,000 house. We don't see that very much. It's probably a second living room. And another little space here. This is super fascinating. I thought this was fun. This railing above, so it's kind of like a catwalk, and then you go down those stairs, and it's also a multi-level house, so there's lots of stairs inside. I want the kitchen. Give me the kitchen. Oh, there's a spiral staircase. Not my favorite. Not my favorite. I get why it's there. It does look cool, but it is difficult to navigate that. These are really shiny tile floors. That's a really interesting space. It's a really 70s color of green there. Here's the kitchen, finally. I do like the cabinets, but I would probably change the countertops and the floors. So it does have a green sink. So they were very consistent throughout this house. That is pretty cool. I do like that green sink. I'm joking. I don't really like it, but is it clean? It looks like it's decently clean. And that's laundry. Oh, there's a blue sink and it's a very cool shape. I do like that. Ah. Oh, there's a ladder right there. Cool. Well, that's fun. What else we got? I don't remember seeing that ladder. Okay. Green, lots of greens. People loved green. It's not bad. I mean, green's cool. I like it too. So there's that catwalk. I like that. And then it has that 3-car garage. So hopefully they've cleaned this up a little bit since then. I just really love the outside of this house. Let me know what you think of it because I think it's cool, but I'm a weirdo. Yeah. So, okay. Have to get to our next one. The next one is also in Norman. Guys, I live in Norman. I like Norman. I think you would like it too. Like it's a good town. It's a good town to live in. So this one's going to be 642,000 and it's 17,700 Chatham Hills. There it is. Little newer, pretty. I like it. This has been on the market for 2 weeks and it's a 4-bed, 3.5 bath, obviously 2-story. So people don't always love 2 stories here. I have a lot of clients that ask for 1-story houses. And honestly, that's mostly what we got. We're one of the few states I know that really does that, just with 1-story houses. This has a 3-car garage and was built in 2013. So it's about 11 years old at this point. Oh, I didn't see how much land is on 5 acres. Nice 5-acre lot. Nice amount of space. Okay. What is wrong with that flag? What's going on? Oh, it's blowing in the wind. Just looked funny there for a second. Okay, so I like that the front of this house, you don't see the garage, like you pull in from the side. That's nice. So it looks like real wood floors or maybe engineered wood floors. It depends. That year, 2013, it might have been real wood. It just kind of depends. And it still has a formal dining with this nice wainscoting. That's cool. The kitchen has a gas cooktop and a little island because 2013 was like, yes, there were islands, but it wasn't as big deal as it is now. And it doesn't have a farmhouse sink, but I like it's black granite because we didn't do quartz much back then. And then the built-in ovens, there's 2 of them. And then they have a little breakfast nook set up. And then this is the second living. So here's a study. That's very nice. Half bath. This is a den situation. It's cool. Okay. This is the primary. So they have a little tub. It's an interesting window. Like the transom is it's bigger anyway. It was 2013. That's a very clear glass door, so you'd have to squeegee that every time you took a shower. And interesting little sinks. They have a little lip on them. Oh, this is what we're getting to. The expansive 5 acres. So you do have a neighbor. They didn't put a fence up. A lot of people comment to me about this fence situation. A lot of people don't put fences up. They might there's a lady in one of the neighborhoods that I sell in, and they have a invisible fence for their dogs. They're the cutest dogs, or golden retrievers. Um, but it looks nice because, they don't have a fence and they just kind of have the dogs trained that way. So that's an option and that a lot of people I know use. Here's the aerial of it. So you can see how you have a big long driveway and just a flat 5 acres. So you can definitely build a shop. Anything else, you can see the neighbor has a shop built off to the right as well. So I think that's a really good option. And they have a storm shelter outside in this one. So storm shelters outside versus inside, people ask me, like, which is better? Well, if you put a storm shelter inside your garage and something falls on top of you while there's a tornado and you can't get out for hours or days, you know, yeah. So a lot of people will like to put them outside because of this, right? And then a lot of people like the stand up storm shelters too. So I've seen people build them into their shops, which I think is a really good idea. You can build a concrete safe room into your shop. So yeah, little tiny outbuilding. I think it's an interesting house. Not everyone's going to love that 2-story. I think that's going to be a kicker on that house. Okay, this one's in Choctaw. I go to Choctaw a lot. I like selling in Choctaw. We find that people who work at Tinker Air Force Base like living in Choctaw. There are so many new builds in Choctaw. It's wild. Okay, this one is a 2003 build. So over the past decade, Choctaw I think has doubled in size. It's 20,000 person community. There's lots of property with acreage. So this is a 5-acre lot. It's 5 bedrooms and 4.5 bathrooms, and it's 3,300 square feet. Great for multi-generational living, has outbuildings. It's a cool house. So I wanted to show it to you. Okay. So you can see the aerial and how much space you have. There's a pond back here. They mow a lot of this. That's a lot of mowing. Oh, I can't even see you guys for a second. There we are. Lots of trees surrounding both sides. You can see a little neighborhood off back here. I think I know which neighborhood that is, but I'd have to double check. So it looks like they have a blacktop driveway. So this is a propane tank out here. So they have this really cool shop. It's very red, which I think is awesome. But it looks really good. This right here, if you're wondering what that is, in the top photo, looks like a little circle. That's the wellhead. So all these properties, besides the one in Norman, that was the cool house that I liked with the green sinks, have well and mostly have septic. So this one might have a septic tank because of how old it is. Mostly the new builds are going to have an aerobic system. And if you don't know the difference, I challenge you to go and Google it, please. Okay. So this one has a tree house. That's fun. There's a little shop building. So it looks like it has electricity. And, oh, what types of floors are those? Those are laminate floors. Eesh, eesh, eesh. I would not have chosen that for this house. They have a grand piano. That's nice. I play piano. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I do. It's one of my things that I like doing. Granite countertops is a very 2003, cabinet situation. Yep. Yep, yep. And a little breakfast nook, some border still left over from wallpaper. That's a is that a built-in? I don't think so. I can't tell. Green. Looks like, a military family, like I said, pretty common. Laminate floors. This is a study, it looks like. You can definitely see the 2003 in this house. Ooh, the backyard. So those are really nice windows. You're gonna get a lot of natural light in there. And they have a little wood burning stove right here. Oh, I like the planking on the ceiling. That's very nice. Oh, this is the guest. Yeah. So this is why the multi-generational living, because it's a separate like apartment thing that they have going on. And oh yeah, my parents had this exact casing in their house. I didn't see that earlier when I scrolled through these. That's super green. That would be a straight no for me. Sorry, my thing's not. So yeah, this is the extra apartment spot. So that would be really nice for multi-generational. It's very green. It's beautiful. So like I said, that one, oops, let's go back up here. That one is 725,000 and it's only been on the market for 2 weeks. That is a house for a very special family. Like, it's a very specific type of house. We don't often see this, like, with the extra apartment and the outbuilding and the 5 acres, so it makes sense. It makes sense. The next one that I have is going to be in Edmond. So it's our first Edmond house that we've done. Edmond is north of Oklahoma City. It's around a 45-minute drive for me, depending on where I'm going in Edmond because it's huge. And I liked this house because it was gorgeous. So this is a redone house. It's a 1972 build. It's on Indian Hill Road in Edmond, so it's very close to I-35. And it is 729,000. It's on a 2.5 acre lot, and it has 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. I'm betting it has a bonus room also. Let us see. Let us see. No HOA. Yes, that is why I picked it. It's also a single story home. So no stairs in this house. And it has a shop. 3 living spaces. That's where the extra, I was like, a 3-bedroom house is 3,000 square feet. Like, that's incredible. So it does have a open great room and then the sunroom and then the game room. That's right. Okay, let's take a look at the photos. This one is so beautiful. I'm so glad they put that at the beginning. Like, they redid this house. It's gorgeous. We used to have some stuff like this in our old house. This is a 70s build. It does have a pool. So that's a lined pool, so it's not the gunite. You do have to replace the lining sometimes. So they painted the fireplace and they added, these were not the original shelves. They redid that. And I would say these are all new cabinets or they refaced them, meaning put new doors on. So really, I'm surprised they left that, but I like the granite on top. And then it has a fully vented stove. That's nice. I like the gold fixtures that they picked. Here's the sunroom, so you get a nice view of the treed backyard. You can see the front of the house here and how close the neighbor is next door. Here's one of the living spaces. Here's the shop, and they put it in like a really random place. In this that's not you, it's usually at the end, but I'm sure there'll be more. They did a little pocket study there. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, it's very well staged. This house is very well staged. Remember, if you're looking at a house to buy, you have to look past the staging sometimes, because if your furniture doesn't look like that, then the house ain't gonna look like that whenever you move in. It has a little white picket fence around the front. So they did all of this in this sort of off-white, and this is a low pile carpet. And then the French doors out here. These are in very weird order. Who uploaded this? And then they have this fire pit, no fence. Once again, very common. Oh, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. In this age of home, they don't have as much like the huge laundry rooms like we're used to now. So it makes sense. Makes sense. That 3-car garage. Oh, we're back to the shed or the shop. It's very strange how they put this in here. So it does have a glass door. There's the pool again. Man, we're just going all over the place. Here's the primary suite. And I think this is the wet bar technically in the one of the living rooms. I really like it. I like how they did this. Like it's very cute. The breakfast nook. I do like the wall color, and this is probably the original tile there on the floors, and they did such a good job incorporating it into the style. And then now we're at the front of the house again. Oh no, I'm trying to get to the shop. So there's how the shape of that pool, which it looks kind of like Mr. Potato Head. That's my opinion. There's the shop. I'm trying to get to this dang shop. I can't. Oh my gosh. I do like the green. It's a very broken up house, and that's the age of the house. It is the reason. They only had 2 pictures of the shop, you guys. I'm so sorry. But it's nice that they had one in general. And I like that's one of the coolest redone houses I've seen in a while. So if you want to see it, I want to go see it with you. So call me, is what I'm saying. Okay, I have 2 more, and they're both over $1 million. Because sometimes those are just really fun to look at. So this first one is actually in Jones. It is 13,550, 3 Oaks. Jones, Oklahoma. Let me see if it'll bring it up. Nope. Okay, let me go over to the MLS and see if I can grab it for us. So I don't know why it's not. Let me go to Zillow actually. We don't love Zillow for looking at homes. I know that a lot of you guys do that. They must have not let it. I want to show it to you. That's why I'm trying to get to it. Because I thought it was really nice. Okay. Oh, it's off the market. Okay, well we can't look at that one. I'm sorry. It's off the market. They took it off. Bummer. Okay. Last one then. Edmond. 1.5 million. Here we go. $1.5 million house in Edmond on 2 acres. This is a 5-bed, 3.5 bath. So they do these things. This is a total real estate, not a gimmick, it's real, but they take the dusk photos so it looks all, pretty. This is a 2008 build, and let's see what else. It does have an HOA, a pretty hefty one, I believe there. But I liked the pool. I did like the pool. So that's why we're looking at this. It does have a waterfall, all the fun things. So the front of it is the stone, and we see a lot of this style specifically in Edmond with like the little, I call them turrets, but I think they're just like dormers on the top and like the fun little spears on the tops of the houses. This is super common. So you can see the how long the driveway is, and like it has a lot of garage space over there too. It looks like it also has 2 chimneys. So this is kind of nestled in houses, or nestled in trees, I mean. So all of these are kind of separate from each other through the trees. So the pool, it looks like they have a hot tub and then the pool down below and then the waterfall. It's cool. Be expensive to keep up, but it's very cool. And then they have a wrought iron fence, very expensive. Awesome, beautiful, love it. And real wood floors, of course. Duh. This rounded door, so lots of archways. There's the study. It's staged, so FYI, right? I do like that. This is the half bath. All these houses have them, and, I like the wallpaper. It's a nice touch. Chandelier in the living room with a rock fireplace. That looks very cool. So you see the stairs off to the left. So it's a very grand room, like extremely. And then they have these windows all out to the back. So you have that feel as well. This is a little wet bar area. I see this in most of the houses in Edmond also. Oh, they took a little picture of the pools for us, which are green and sparkly. We like green. Lots of green today. It's like our theme. And the breakfast nook. Ooh. White kitchen. It just feels very clean, but I think that it helps ground the space with the wood floors. It looks good. It looks like maybe a little green, like a pale, pale green in the tile in the backsplash. That looks nice. Okay, gas vented. Yep. This is maybe a Sub-Zero or something refrigerator. I can't see it. And this is the primary suite, it looks like. So it has its own little porch out there. And the walk-in shower with a little bench. Lots of built-ins in the closets in these houses. Like you have a full spot, full dressing room, just like Sammy on TikTok. She's one of my favorites. If you guys don't watch her, go watch her. She's amazing. And this looks like a tiled shower. This is in like a hall bath situation. Little workout room they have set up in one of the bedrooms because there were a lot of bedrooms. Looks like this is set up as their den with a giant TV. I would venture to say it's like a 70-inch. Oh, and they have multiples, so they're probably watching sports, I would guess. Okay, a little wet bar here. Very nice. That's a different flooring. I don't know what that is. And then this, the decent sized laundry room. Like, it's not the biggest, but it's a 2008 build, so that also makes sense. Oh, that's very nice. So the outdoor fireplace, um, it's like a little living room just outside. It's probably pretty warm there right now because it's 98 degrees outside, but in the fall and in the spring and in the winter, it'll probably be really nice. And then I love this too, and I see this a lot on these houses, like, you have to keep the trees up, you have to keep them trimmed up, and then they look just like a little forest in your own backyard. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, you just let me know. You're gonna find all of my info in the description and the comments. I will see you guys later.